Emma?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. Thank you very much for your time today. I'm so excited to dive into this film with you. I know you've had a busy day talking about it already, but
All fine. I'm really curious what you want to know, and I'm here to answer all of your questions.
thank
Hopefully.
you. Hopefully, yes. Well, first, I just want to say, I mean, what an incredible year you are having in film this year, not only with Anatomy of Fall, but The Zone of Interest. I had the pleasure of seeing both of them at the Cannes Film Festival earlier this year, and I mean, so much praise to you. You are just incredible in both of these films.
Thank you.
How does it feel? Has it been a very exciting year as equally for you as well?
Yes, it has been an exciting year, and I think, yeah, I think I feel all sorts of. It's a mix of feelings. It's really like because uh, I've come here from Leipzig, Germany, and it kind of I know I will go back there.
Mhm.
So it's really like it's all these journeys that I really enjoy, this traveling and the talking about the movies and the fact that we really did them together. It's not only me or Justine or Jonathan but it was really like they are ensemble works, as we say, like every little detail in them is important. It's not about a performance in first place. That's what I feel. So I'm really glad that we get that much attention and help them start. That's really the greatest thing about it.
I'm sure. And what an amazing team to be a part of with both directors
Yes.
and all of the crews. I know specifically you and Justine have worked together in the past. When you first read the script, did it surprise you that she wanted to take on a murder trial and something as heavy as this subject topic, or did it seem right up her alley based on how long you have known each other?
Oh, I think that I would have thought about I mean, in German we say, ich traue ihr alles zu. I don't know how to translate it really. She can do anything, and
Mm.
for me, I will
Mhm.
probably always like it. It has been like that so far, so it could have been anything that she would come up with. And she didn't tell me before what it was about. She said
Oh.
something about a son and a mother. That was the only thing I know, and about how the projections on each other change during a certain incident. But I didn't know.
She didn't
Um,
say what the incident was.
she didn't say anything. Yeah, so I found it was all her films are really intelligent and very compassionate and empathetic with the characters, sometimes funny. And also here I find a certain sort of humor that's really her and Arthur, her co-writer. Um, but the complexity of what is told, not it's not that I didn't think she was capable of it, but it was just like another level of her
Mhm.
work,
Mhm.
like with all the other works before she put it to another level. And I think it also has to do with the time that she had to work on it, because they started to do it I think a week before the first lockdown, and then they were sitting with it for such a long time. So yeah, I think it was a long time in the oven. It's a stupid word to say, probably.
It was their bun in the oven, as they like to say.
Yeah.
I actually just was able to speak with her, and she said that you specifically loved the argument scene between your character and the husband, and she said that that's really what sold you on this story. What was it about that moment, either in the way that it was written or really a lot of the emotions that it's getting at in that scene?
I mean, this scene is special because it is so long,
Mhm.
and because the movement in is so clear. What is happening at that point and at that point, and that we can follow every character, and we never know who we like more, or it changes in between, whom we feel empathetic with and who we believe, and all these things. I think that's what I liked about it, but it's not, I didn't decide for this film because of that scene. That's not really true. I think she's putting herself under it's not true. um I think I liked the warmth of the character despite all the things that are said about her. And even when she is provoked in a very tough way in court, that she's keeping her composure and that she's not losing it. That's something that I admired very much. She's losing it in the fight, and I think she would be like non-human. She would be a machine if she wouldn't. And the scene is not only because its length so special, but also because I find it very modern. I don't think I've ever read such a well observed fight or argument, like basic argument between them, that deals with so many issues that modern couples have, like the division of power, of money, of time, like these three things that we constantly talk about, either in a good way or in a bad way. Some people can deal with it very well, and some people argue about it, like in a loop constantly. Yeah. So, and I've never seen it before. It was always about betrayal or la 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 la, but this whole liberated sexual life discussion comes way late in the fight. It's something that's just a cherry on the top, that the issues are very much different than that.
I think really for myself, when I watch this film, just the fact that it all feels very real. You know, sometimes we watch a lot of these either TV shows or films, whatever, dealing with a murder trial or some type of spousal murder. It seems like things are so over exaggerated, and you really just can't relate to the characters. And you know, obviously, I think that's a very great testament to not only your performance, but to so many people's in this film, that it does feel like these are very real people, and we are just kind of like a bug on the wall watching things play out. Is that hard to, you know, after doing it for so many days, you're shooting several hours at a time, is it hard to have to, I guess, get out of that role? Did it stay with you after those cameras stopped rolling? How was it for you to just have to inhabit this type of this person?
No, I'm not I'm not the type that a character stays with. I really, you know, when the shooting stops at night, of course I have to look at my lines for the next day, which is more of a technical thing. I don't stay in any sort of emotion. I like to walk in the evenings. I like to cook in the evenings. I like, you know, all these things, or watch a movie. I really like to go away from it because I feel I can't prepare anyway. I mean, I can prepare the lines, but I can't prepare how I feel the next day and how my partner feels the next day. It's kind of, I recently learned this word of micromanaging, which is beautiful because it's
Yes.
really like I can't control it, you know. I can't go there and that, oh, I wish you would act this way to me, you know, today. Please play the scene the way that I prepared it. It's really, you know, you can't do that. So I like to step away from it anyway.
That makes sense.
I like to be in the energy of the shooting, of course, because the concentration somehow never really goes away, but I don't no, I don't stay in a character or anything like that. No.
You need some time away from it too, to just breathe.
Yes, definitely.
Also in that regard, how did you feel knowing that, you know, your character, she is constantly saying that she is innocent, she did not do this, but us as audience members, we can't help but always have that little bit of doubt still in the back of our minds. Is that challenging as an actor to have to, you know, say one thing, but maybe in some subtle way portray something else? I think it's very interesting.
Well, I had these thoughts too, because I also never knew if it was real. I decided it is true, but you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't write her, and Justine didn't tell me her truth. She didn't tell me her version of the story because we decided it's not important, not so important. And I think this ambiguity of her and the things that I think about her and that the audience would think about her helped me to portray her in all her complexity. And also, I very much liked her to be someone that people would think of as someone being capable of doing something like that, like in a way, a dangerous woman, you know, which is not so bad. I mean, she will not, she would defend herself in moments where it's necessary. So, yeah, I like that.
Since I have just a few minutes left with you, unfortunately, even though I would like to speak with you even longer, I really love the scene where we are introduced to your character, and it really starts off the whole film because it is so disorienting. There is that loud song blasting in the room. We can barely hear the interview that you and your character is sitting in. Was that equally as disorienting to shoot? How do you, take on something that is quite an important scene that maybe we don't realize to begin with?
Well, what the other things that would be going on, I knew because they were in the script, but they were not happening when we were filming it. So I knew that they would be added afterwards, but I completely forgot that half of the scene would not be, you would not hear it. So we were working very detailed. It was a very detailed work on that scene. And we shot it twice because the first time wasn't working for several reasons. Also because it was really loaded, because it is the entrance of the character. And I so much wanted people to like her, and in the second take I didn't care anymore. So I kind of let go to that. There was so much information that I wanted to put in there, and I think it was just too much. Also because I forgot that it wouldn't be the whole scene. So yeah, that was difficult. It was really difficult to do it. Just to, yeah, it's like when you get on a stage for the first time. It really tells so many things about a person. But Justine, and I didn't know how this would come out in it, but I think she really wanted it to be messy in the first place, that nobody knows where they are, what house is this, what family, how many people live there, who's up there, all these things. And that we slowly get more and more information about them, which doesn't mean we know the truth, of course. But
yeah, and it's written in a way too that you start off with the smallest information and it just keeps building and growing, and the tension is growing. It's really wonderfully done. Well, Sandra, I just want to thank you very much for your time. I have to end our interview, but it was such a pleasure to speak with you and to learn a little bit more about this film.
Thank you very much, Emma.